Why is it that the souls who feel the deepest, think the most, and question everything often arrive in families filled with confusion, conflict, or emotional emptiness? It's a riddle that lingers in the heart. Many people wonder how a universe known for its intelligence places sensitive and spiritually aware minds in homes that seem anything but nurturing. You may have asked yourself, did I deserve this? Was I meant to carry this pain? But the deeper truth is far more empowering. The universe never awakens a soul through ease. Comfort makes people complacent. But pain? Pain shakes you awake. It whispers, you are meant for more than this. Alan Watts once noted that the wound is where illumination begins. The soul that feels too much, the one who observes quietly while others live on the surface, that soul is not cursed. It is being shaped. Because in a world asleep, it takes intensity, friction, and fire to awaken consciousness. Gold only becomes pure after heat. Diamonds only emerge from pressure. Awakened souls shine because they were born in darkness. Maybe you grew up unseen. Maybe you were the quiet thinker, the one who sensed what others missed. You attempted to bring peace where there was unrest, kindness where there was coldness, yet were misunderstood in return. That wasn't punishment. It was initiation. Your pain was not meant to break you, it was meant to reveal you. Type this affirmation in the comments. My pain awakened my power. Number 1. The cosmic purpose behind difficult beginnings. There is nothing accidental about your birth or the environment you grew up in. The universe does not assign awakened souls to comfort because comfort blinds people. Pain exposes truth. Pain forces the spirit to look deeper. This is why many conscious souls come from households full of emotional storms, not because they were cursed, but because they were being prepared. A soul destined to illuminate others must first understand darkness. Without contrast, one cannot recognize light. The universe teaches through opposites. You feel the absence of real love so you can recognize genuine love later. You experience rejection so you can learn self-worth. You face instability so you can embody inner peace. Your early hardships were not chaos, they were curriculum. Alan Watts said the universe plays hide and seek with itself. The soul hides in pain so it can rediscover its own brightness. Your family's darkness was not the end of your story. It was the starting point of your awakening. Type this affirmation in the comments. My pain has purpose. Number 2. Family is the first mirror. Your family is not the enemy, it is the first mirror life places before you. Every moment, whether joyful or painful, reflects hidden lessons about your identity and your path. Awakened souls often grow up surrounded by chaos or emotional coldness, not because they earned it, but because it accelerates awareness. A home where love feels conditional or where silence becomes punishment reveals the nature of unconsciousness firsthand. You begin to recognize what love is not, and that becomes the starting point for knowing what love is. Toxic families teach through contrast. They show what life looks like when wounds rule instead of wisdom. You watch inherited anger, generational fear, recycled guilt, and slowly, you become the observer rather than the participant. You study dysfunction instead of absorbing it. Those internal questions you asked. Why do they act like this? Why can't they express love properly? Were not rebellion. They were the first sparks of awakening. Alan Watts said we understand ourselves through what others reflect. When you stop reacting and start observing, the mirror becomes a teacher. Your family's pain was not your identity. It was your initiation. Type this affirmation in the comments. My family taught me awareness. Number 3. Awareness is born through suffering. Suffering is not the conclusion of awakening, it is the doorway. Every instance of rejection, confusion, or hurt that you experienced was shaping the way your mind perceives and understands life. When affection becomes manipulation or warmth shifts into coldness, the soul begins searching for truth. You start asking deeper questions. These questions are the seeds of consciousness. Pain pushes the mind inward. It forces clarity. Love without awareness becomes control. Care without consciousness becomes manipulation. These realizations are not learned from books, they are earned through emotional fire. Alan Watts said that suffering without insight is hell, but suffering with understanding is awakening. You become the witness of your own evolution. Pain polishes the soul. It strengthens your resilience. It reveals your patterns and your growth. Every scar becomes a source of wisdom. Type this affirmation in the comments. My pain made me wise. Number 4. Breaking the ancestral chain. Generational wounds pass silently through families like invisible inheritances. Anger becomes habit. Fear becomes tradition. Guilt becomes communication. Most people repeat what they never question. But awakened souls don't continue the cycle, they interrupt it. You were not born to repeat your family's story. You were born to change it. Your parents weren't villains, they were unhealed. Their behaviors were reflections of wounds they never resolved. You now stand at the crossroads, repeat their patterns or transform them. Alan Watts said we are not bound to who we were yesterday. Awareness frees you from repetition. Breaking the cycle is not aggression, it's evolution. You stop carrying what your soul was never meant to hold. You choose peace where tension once ruled. You choose understanding over reaction. Healing doesn't require noise. It requires clarity. Type this affirmation in the comments. The chain ends with me. Number 5. Redefining love and boundaries. Toxic families often confuse affection with control. Their love comes with demands, guilt, or expectations. They want you to keep them comfortable, even at the cost of your peace. Awakened souls learn early that this is not love. It is attachment disguised as care. Real love liberates. It helps you grow. It does not hold you hostage. But to know healthy love, you often must first experience unhealthy love. Painful relationships teach you the value of boundaries. They teach you that closeness without respect is not devotion, it is dependency. Alan Watts said you can only love fully when you are free to walk away. Sometimes the most powerful act of love is distance. Leaving is not betrayal, it is self-respect. Boundaries are sacred. They protect your energy. They define your worth. They are not walls, they are filters. You learn to say no without guilt and choose solitude over fake peace. Type this affirmation in the comments. My love has boundaries. Number 6. Understanding without attachment. There comes a turning point where you no longer try to fix anyone. You simply understand them. Awareness teaches that peace does not come from changing people, it comes from seeing them clearly without absorbing their chaos. This is emotional detachment, rooted not in coldness but in wisdom. You notice the fear behind their anger, the shame behind their silence, the emptiness behind their manipulation. Compassion arises, but compassion is not permission. Understanding does not mean tolerating what harms you. Alan Watts taught that life is understood not through control but through flow. You stop wishing for apologies that will never come. You stop expecting closure from those incapable of giving it. Closure is not something others offer, it is something you create. Detachment frees you. You forgive quietly. You move gracefully. You love from a distance. Type this affirmation in the comments. I choose peace over control. Number 7. Transformation, turning darkness into light. Every awakened soul reaches a moment when everything finally makes sense. The past stops looking like punishment and becomes preparation. Your heartbreak gave you depth. Your solitude gave you clarity. Your suffering gave you wisdom. What once destroyed you is now what shaped you. Alan Watts said cracks allow the light to enter, and awakening begins exactly in those cracks. You no longer say, "Why me?" You begin to say, "This was meant to teach me." Your family's chaos didn't define your limits, it revealed your strength. Their rejection taught you self-love. Their silence taught you independence. Their instability taught you inner peace. Transformation is not forgetting the story, it is reclaiming it. You become the light you once wished someone had given you. Darkness was never the end. It was the doorway. Type this affirmation in the comments. My darkness made me light. So here is the truth. Awakened souls are not placed in toxic families as punishment. They are placed there with purpose. Not to suffer, but to awaken. Not to repeat cycles, but to end them. Not to break, but to evolve. You were the observer in the chaos. You were the stillness in the storm. You were the consciousness born in confusion. Your family did not destroy you. They initiated you. Alan Watts said that the meaning of life is simply to be alive, to experience, to grow, to awaken. Your family was the test. You were the answer. If this message touched you, share it with someone who needs it. Type the final affirmation in comments. I was born to bring light.